took a 1970 Nova, we stripped it down to the bare frame sheet metal, did any repair work on some panels that had rust, anything that was needed. We added a tubular front suspension on a tubular front subframe. We also added adjustable coilover shocks and springs. We, on the rear suspension, put in a rear 4-link with a pan hardbar and again on adjustable coilover shocks with some new adjustments on spring rates and sway bars and some shock valving changes, and hopefully today will run a whole lot better.
All right, we're just checking the motor here to make sure we have no failures. This is a brand new engine, so typically a brand new motor might take a little bit of time for the rings to seat. And if that's the case, it'd be using a little bit of oil from the start until the rings get seated up and that blow-by goes away. But this particular motor seems to be seated pretty well, and it hasn't really used a drop since we started it up. So it's in very good shape, and just want to make sure we don't have any failure today because of lack of oil.
Might be the deer.
All right, we're going to go from about 70. We'll start at 70 and go down to 0 and see what happens. 58, 58, 58, 60.
What we're doing is the 60 to 0 deceleration test. We have the radar gun set up, we have the computer to capture everything, and it measures the distance that it takes to stop from 60 to 0. And the last test we just did was 123 feet, which is damned excellent for the very first initial test.
Okay, what we're doing here is the slalom test. And the slalom is 7 cones that are placed 70 feet apart. And the car goes through the slalom, putting the first cone on the left, the second cone on the right, third cone on the left, and so forth. So it's a snake-like direction. And we have timing lights at the entry point and timing lights at the exit point, similar to the timing lights used at a drag strip. And what we do is we time the seconds from the entry to the exit, and then we have conversion charts that will convert that to actual mile an hour. If you look in Road and Track magazine, Motor Trend magazine, those type of automotive magazines, slalom tests are something that they do to rate new cars in comparison which one handles better than the other. Now they use 100-foot spacing in their cones because they have higher performance handling cars. We test sometimes, as we have here today, street rods, that we don't want them going that fast between the cones. So we squeezed it down to 70 feet to keep the mile an hour down. And it's all about the before and after comparisons. We have figures on stock original Novas, modified Novas, stock Camaros, modified Camaros, stock 55 Chevys, modified 55 Chevys, so that we can see what the improvement is. And the whole goal of the magazine is to show that you can take these muscle cars and you can bolt on modern design suspensions, and you can make the car handle like a modern car and still have the nostalgic look of a muscle car.
You run the car through the skid pad clockwise and counterclockwise, and we take the measurement of time on each one. You take those 2 times, you add them together, divide them by 2, and you do the math formula, and it'll give you how the average G's that the car pulls in the skid pad. And I'm guessing it's probably around 9.5, 9.6, so it's probably close to a full G that it's pulling, which means they're good.
I am so good.
Quarter mile at 106.98 miles per hour.
That's moving out.
So that's not bad.
Breakfast champion. Well, it's okay now?
Everything looks good, doesn't
That's right. Everything is very good.
it? So how did this run go?
How did this run go?
Yeah.
This one, great. It was the best one.
Can you give me times?
What was it, 583? Is that what they said? 583? 583. Yep.
Outstanding.
Nick's finally getting the hang of it.
Fern, you and your goddamn camera.
Me and my goddamn camera. Now, you can't put that on YouTube, so tell me about the run.
It was just amazing. Those tires made all the difference in the world, and the car just stuck no matter what I did. In each turn, it just stuck there.
Yeah, no
It didn't
matter
go
how
anywhere.
bad he was driving, it just stuck.
Yeah.
TPP and TCI doesn't sell fucking tires. They don't care about the tires. They want to hear about the suspension making it stick.
The combination of the suspension and the tires are what made this car go through the slalom course the way it did. Had nothing to do with the driver's ability.
Yeah, we could have put a monkey in there and it would have done it, right, Nick?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.